From what I noticed talking to people so far in Romania, they are either very big Matt Fradd fans, like myself, or people who study Thomas Aquinas, or who found your interview with Dennis Prager online. But there are also people who don't know yet anything about Matt Fradd. So let's speak to them for a minute. And for the people who don't know you, can you share some of your story with us?
Yes, absolutely. I was born and raised in Australia, and while my mother was Catholic and so would force me and my siblings to go to Holy Mass every week, I decided in my teenage years that God probably didn't exist, and so I was agnostic. And at the age of 17, my mum invited me to go on a religious pilgrimage to Rome in Italy. I went because it was a free trip. That was really the extent of it. But during that pilgrimage, I encountered the person of Jesus Christ and became a Christian at that point, a practicing Christian. And my life was really changed. Shortly after that, I served as a missionary in Canada and Ireland. And it was there that I met my wife. We got married in 2006. We now have 4 children. We live in Steubenville, Ohio. And I'm currently teaching philosophy at a university in Garming, Austria. And I run a podcast called Pints with Aquinas.
And a big part of your work is on the topic of pornography. And this is also related to the topic that you will also bring at the conference in Romania. And I know you are very passionate to help, especially other men, to have freedom from pornography. Can you share some of the story or your work that you do on this side and the result that you saw of your work during the years?
Absolutely. So I was 8 years old when I first encountered pornography. And then when I was 13, my best friend's mum would actually buy us pornographic films at such a young age, unfortunately, to her shame. Shortly after my conversion, I began to realize how problematic it was, and so began to repent of it. So since it played such a large part in my own life, I began speaking out about it. I've written several books on the topic, most notably a book called The Porn Myth, Exposing the Reality Behind the Fantasy of Pornography, which is a non-religious response to pro-porn arguments. For a long time, I was speaking to about 50 to 70,000 people a year. I would travel the United States and around the world speaking on this issue, to both men who would say they don't know how to quit, and also to women who would say they do not know how to quit. And then I also spoke a lot to parents about how to protect their children online and to realize what a serious issue it was. I think a memory that comes to mind was a young woman came up to me at a conference that I was speaking at, and she told me that she had been coming to these Christian conferences for years now, but she had never told anybody what she was about to tell me. And then she told me that she had been looking at pornography and engaging in self-abuse or masturbation since a young age. And it was so beautiful to have her just realize that she was lovable, that she wasn't a freak or beyond redemption or anything like that. And I encouraged her to go to confession. And the next day she came up to me with a big grin on her face and skipping, and told me that it was a beautiful experience for her. So that was lovely. Hearing people tell me that they've been free of it for a long time, or at least finding more freedom from it, has been very edifying.